Hey there, and welcome to A Story with me, Midnight Reader. Hit that like and subscribe, then relax and enjoy. A ton of people walk around the city looking like mascots. They're cute and all, but I can never find one I'd want in my familia. The good ones all go after money. If only more people knew the name Hestia. I'm not so sure. All the blessings start out the same, no matter what god or goddess gave it. I live with the goddess Hestia. I guess gods and goddesses have names just like us. A familia is basically a group formed by a god. For example, Loki Familia is the group put together by the goddess Loki, and Hestia Familia is by Hestia. Some people call it Team Loki or Team Hestia. Personally, I think that being in a familia is like being part of a god's family. While gods are in Gikai, they can't use their godly powers, called Arcanum. It's a rule that they set themselves shortly after arriving. Without Arcanum, they need our food and money to survive. Well, I have heard of a few gods who like working. Most gods came here to have fun. So they rely on us children to make money for them while they do whatever. A person gets a blessing when they join a familia. In exchange, they use the power from the blessing to make money. To be frank, members of a familia provide for their god. But we can't argue for the benefits of receiving a blessing. Anyone with a blessing can get strong enough to take down even the fiercest monsters. Hestia, the goddess sitting across from me, calls it give and take. Belle, I really feel bad making you work by yourself to provide for me. Hey, I'm fine. And you're working too, aren't you? Some familias are very large with hundreds of members, and some are very small, like ours. In these circumstances, even the gods or goddesses themselves must find work, like Hestia. They can't do what they love, they have to make money first. Sure, they can do anything they want to earn money, but it makes me happy knowing that gods living in our society have the same problems I do. I feel, I don't know, closer to them somehow. Well, there are some gods who turn their familia into a monarchy with themselves at the top. They call it kingdom game or something like that. But even that is built and managed by people. Therefore, the gods have to follow our rules. There are some who would say the gods are manipulating our society by behaving this way. But the fact that a god was able to create a kingdom is only because a group of people wanted him to. While the gods do watch over what we create, in the end, they have no way of giving anyone an advantage over the competition. I'm sorry I made you join the familia of such a pitiful god. God is. I watch her withdraw into the sofa. My voice sounded pathetic even to my own ears. I meet Hestia with circling Orario trying to join the familia. I had just arrived, and I needed a blessing before I could become an adventurer. The famous familias always have people trying to join their already full ranks, so people with skills that would benefit the group get first priority. Country boy newbies like me get passed over. I wasn't just shown the door, I had it slammed in my face a few times. I think that Hestia could see that in my eyes when we crossed paths, sort of like I was a lost puppy, and she brought me home. Hestia came to Gekkai relatively recently and was staying with a friend, also a goddess, and her familia before she met me. She told me that she had spent all day, every day, doing what she loved, reading our books. Her friend eventually got angry and kicked her out, but she wasn't heartless. Hestia's friend found this room under a church for her. But really, all blessings are equal. That's a fact. Everyone who receives a blessing starts at the same point. As for how they grow, well, that depends completely on them. In the end, familias are judged by their abilities of their members, just like any shop or any country. A familia is not strong because of its god, and neither is it weak. It's okay, goddess. Our familia just got started. Better yet, it's on the rise. Sure, it might be difficult now, but as soon as we get past this first part, we'll be sitting pretty. Once we get some money saved up, people will be lining up to join us. Belle, you're just so... Swoosh! She's on her feet. Her eyes fill with hope and happiness as she gazes at me. But everything I just said, word for word, came from Ina, not me. That hurts a bit, but in the conscience. But my goddess is happy. That's all that matters. She's the one who took me, a country boy dreaming about a harem and whatnot, who almost got crushed because of it, by the hand and encouraged me. She is very important to me. I want to help her any way I can. That was the first promise I ever made to myself. I wanted to help her when we first met, and that's not about to change. I was so lucky to meet someone like you. Now, for our future, let's update your status. Please. The goddess kicks her legs as she jumps off the sofa. Her impossibly large boobs jiggle as she moves. I saw the bounce, yes, but I looked away. And now I'm smiling again, too. I really have to try harder to keep my eyes off her chest. Other gods called her lowly big boobs, making fun of her otherworldly bust. But what the heck does lowly mean? Alright, off with the shirt and into bed like usual. Okay. I walk toward the bed as I unhook my light adventurer's armor and pull off my undershirt. I look over my shoulder into the full-length mirror at the end of the room. My topless, pale skin reflected in with hair as white as Grandpa's looks back at me. What really stands out is the clump of black markings on the small of my back. All of them were engraved into my skin by Hestia. She said it's called Falna, and it's the mark of a blessing from a god or goddess. Lie down, lie down. I do as I'm told and I crawl into bed. As soon as my stomach hits the sheets, the goddess jumps on top of me and uses my butt as her own personal chair. You said earlier that you almost died today. What happened? It's a long story, but she rubs my back as I talk, going over the same spot once, twice, many times. She relaxes my skin. Ping! The goddess pulls out a long needle. I look over my shoulder in time to see her prick her own finger with it. A drop of her blood falls onto my back. The red drop literally sends waves through my body as it sinks in. You went into the deeper levels of the dungeon to meet girls? What strange fantasies are going through your head? There's no way the ideal virgin you have in your mind is going to be in such a dangerous place. Now, is there? Virgin? But anyway, it's not like that. I have morals. Did you know that an elf won't even touch someone who doesn't meet their standards? No need to get worked up. Yes, I know about the elves, but there are also groups like the Amazons. They want to have strong children so badly that women give themselves to men just because of their strength. I think you're going to wear yourself out, that's all. Oh. She looks down at me with an all-knowing glance before bringing that up. Meanwhile, she's kneading the spot on my back where the blood had landed, working down slowly from the left. She changes the markings. These markings on my back are my status, my falna. A person's abilities rise when a god's blood is used to write hieroglyphs on their body. Only gods have this power. There is also a thing called Excella. Simply put, Excella is experience. Of course, it isn't something that can be seen or used by children in any way, but it tells what path an individual has walked up to that point. Gods can read a person's history in Excella. They will know if by some miracle you slew a monster, for example. Excella also fuels a person's growth through a blessing. Everything you have accomplished, both the quality and amount, shows up in Excella. The gods can see what you have done, your life story. Kind of like a big sign that says, has completed such difficult feats as slaying a monster, etc., etc. Seems like something that ancients would do, if you ask me. Gods update the hieroglyphs on their familiar members' backs to match that person's Excella. To put it another way, level up! Gods and goddesses use this power to make their children stronger. And anyway, Eyes Wallenstein, was it? If she really is that pretty and insanely powerful, other men won't leave her alone. She's bound to have a few favorites by now. Do you really think so? Yep. Listen up, Belle. This is a crush. You'll get over it. You should move on and focus more on the girls around you. I am 100% sure that there is a beautiful lady who will accept, hold, and support you in your life right now. Great. Now I'm tearing up again. I don't want to think about it. And she's bashing Mrs. Wallenstein? Why is she in such a bad mood? Did I step on a mine or something? She keeps saying someone closer to you, but there aren't any women other than her and Ina in my life right now. Ina is my boss. Like hell she'd be interested in me. And then the goddess. Yeah, right. We've known each other for 2 weeks. And she's a goddess. Goddess, life is not that easy. Ina told me that too. Besides, the girl Miss Wallen something isn't Loki familia. You can't marry her anyway. The final blow, right through the heart. People almost always marry someone of the opposite gender who's either in the same familia or not in one at all. If two people from different familias marry, which group do the kids belong to? There are other reasons too, but the important thing is that so many issues get in the way that people avoid interfamiliar relationships. Then there are the gods themselves. They may have come here for entertainment, but they take their familias very seriously. Also, not all of the gods are friends. If two of them are fighting, members of their familias are instantly enemies. Members of each familia don't want to put their allies in danger. Ina said it first. It would be difficult for me, the only member of Hestia Familia, to have a relationship with Mrs. Wallenstein and member of Loki Familia. All done? And just forget about that girl and keep your eyes open. You will find someone as long as you keep looking closer to home. You're cruel, goddess. No, I'm not giving up. I can't give up without even trying. We just met. There's no telling what will happen. I get out of bed and I pull on some normal clothes while trying to rebuild my confidence. The goddess reaches for a piece of paper to write down my new status. I can't read the hieroglyphs myself. No one can. So the gods learned a bit of our written language to help us out. Even if I could read their hieroglyphs, they're on my back. Who could read something written there? Here, your new status. I take the paper from her lightly outstretched hand. Bell Crannel, Level 1. Strength I-77 to I-82. Defense I-13. Utility I-93 to I-96. Agility H-148 to H-172. Magic I-0. No magic, no skills. This is the fauna on my back, my status. There are 5 basic abilities: strength, defense, utility, agility, and magic. Each ability has one of 10 ranks: S, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I within each level. S is the strongest, and I is the weakest. The number next to the rank shows our exact ability level. 0 to 99 is the I range. 100 to 199 is the H, and so on. 999 is the absolute maximum. It gets harder to get points as we get stronger, or so I'm told. Level is the most important statistic in all status. Every one of the basic abilities gets a major boost when the level goes up. It wouldn't be that much of a stretch to say a person evolves when they level up. There is a huge difference between level 1 and level 2. Level 2 is much, much stronger. The goddess calls it ranking up. Let's see. My strength, utility, and agility went up this time. Wait a sec. What's up with my agility? I went from H148 to H172, up 24 points from yesterday? It must be because I got chased around for who knows how long by the Minotaur. The Excella system is pretty simple. A person gains experience when they use a basic skill. For example, to gain defense, I would have to actually get hit by a monster in battle. But all I do is run and dodge, so my defense almost never goes up. Ina told me that armor and some weapons raise defense just by equipping them, but I just run away, so what's the point? Damn, this is embarrassing. Goddess, when do you think I'll be able to use magic? Even I don't know that. I hear people who can use magic have a high intelligence in their Excella. You don't read much, though, do you, Belle? No. Magic has to be the first thing people look forward to when they get a blessing. Before the gods came to Gikai, only a few races could use very limited magic. But now that the gods give out blessings, anyone who can learn it to use it as long as they're in a familia. A person can use up to 3 different kinds of magic. But knowing only one magic is pretty common. I've been told that adventurers who know 2 kinds of magic become anchors for their team. Magic is that important. There's a legend that long ago, an elf used wind magic to slice and dice 100 humans. Magic is the ultimate trump card that can turn the tables in any situation. Who could defeat someone who can cast Sea of Flames with only a sword? I know I can't. There is only one magic slot in my status. I guess that means I can only learn one? Eh. Goddess, there seems to be something in my skill slot. It looks like something was erased. Hmm? Oh! Some ink got on my hand, and it got smudged. It's still open like normal. Don't worry. Just my luck. I won't lie, I got my hopes up a bit. Skills are completely separate from basic abilities. When activated, they either have an effect on battle or on the user's body itself. If the status shows improvement in ability, then skills are like a beneficial chemical reaction that tacks on something extra. Skills may not be as flashy as magic, but they don't cost as much to use, though they do cost something. I glance over my updated status one last time and look up at the clock on the wall. Then I turn to the goddess. Goddess, it's already evening. Shall I get dinner ready? I know we're going to have a potato snack party, but that won't be enough to fill us up, right? Sure, I'll leave it to you, Belle. Righto. I turn from the goddess's cute smile and go to the kitchen. I can only cook really easy stuff, but yeah, Ina told me I need to think more about money. I'll start focusing on that. I should try to save as much as possible from now on. I can feel the goddess staring at my back, but I have some ideas on how to rework my contract. Maybe I can get more money that way. Hestia gave Belle a send off to the kitchen as if she were seeing him off to war. Once he was there, she let out a quiet but heavy sigh. She picked up his status sheet from the bed and compared it to the one written on his back. Children change so fast, completely different from us. Even the slightest thing could change them and spread quickly. It wasn't desire or culture that defined the people of Gikai. Change did. I hate this. He changed because of her, and it isn't fair. I won't accept it. She held her head between her hands, scratching back and forth. Damn it! She took another look at Belle's back. Specifically, she looked at his skill slot. Relis phrase, rapid growth, continued desire results in continued growth, stronger desire results in stronger growth. It was she who had found promising Excella and written that skill into him with her own hands. She regretted it more than anything. Hestia Familia's base, the hidden room under the old church. The room is underground, so naturally there are no morning sunbeams or crowing roosters to wake me up. It's just force of habit to get up at a certain time. I used to have to get up early to work in the fields back home in the countryside. I developed a very precise body clock right around my tummy. 5 a.m. sharp. Just to be sure, I lift my head to check the clock on the wall. While it's dim in here, it's not completely dark thanks to the magic stone lamp on the ceiling. My eyes don't even have to adjust. Human engineers figured out how to make magic stone lamps. The gods call it cutting-edge technology. It was the discovery of the century. Even the gods acknowledged the influence of human engineering techniques. These things are amazing. The goddess and I had a small party last night. When we got sleepy, I left the bed to her and went to sleep on the sofa as usual. Sure, it's not that wide, but I'm used to it. I blink a few times to get the sleep out of my eyes. I should get up and wash my face to get ready to. Huh? There's something on top of me. Not the sheets. And it's round and extremely light. I'm breathing just fine, otherwise I would have noticed sooner. Just what is this thing? Maybe if I touch it. No way. It's the goddess. She's asleep with her face buried in my chest. Imagine that. Did she sleepwalk? I guess there's a first time for everything. But now I have to figure out how to get out of this predicament. I'm sure I could get out from under her without waking her up, but she's so soft and cuddly, I don't want to move. She's an extremely good body pillow, a godlike one. There are familiars that specialize in making items and weapons, but I can say for sure that they don't have anything like this. The goddess is incredible. With all due respect to her, I wrap my arms around her squishy body. If cotton were a liquid, this is how it would feel. This is bad. I really won't be able to get up at this rate. She even smells nice. Ah, a tiny yawn, and now she's snuggling her face into my chest like a little baby. She's so damn cute. Wait a second. What are those soft melons on my chest? Don't tell me. It's them. I move fast. This god pillow has turned into a death trap. I slide out a little and flip her onto the sofa, trading places with her. She almost killed me. It's the first time she sent a chill down my spine. They were touching me. I couldn't breathe. What if I couldn't get out of there? I put the sheet over her and get ready to go. I shouldn't be here when she wakes up. Now that I think about it, wow, I'm an idiot. What have I done? She's a goddess, and I felt her on me. I sneaked through the room and out the door without a sound. Belle, you're so stupid. Well, that was an eventful way to wake up. I sigh to myself as the brisk morning air chills my skin. Main Street is in the morning is very different from how it is in the afternoon. The streets feel so much wider at sunrise. No people, no noise. Every one of the two-story shops have their shutters closed. The shops look like long stone wall all lined up in a row. The eastern sky is getting brighter. I'm not alone on the streets either. A few prums are setting up their store here, and a group of dwarves are talking in a cluster over there. By the looks of them, they're adventurers like me. I wonder if I'll run into them in the dungeon later on. I might have a lot in common with them. I got up, got ready to prowl the dungeon, left my goddess behind, and now I'm on Main Street. Ah, rats. I didn't eat anything. Growl. My stomach is talking to me. All I can do is trudge toward the dungeon and rub my tummy to calm it down. There is nothing in there, just hunger. At this rate, I won't be able to slay anything in the dungeon. Can't concentrate. I know that I said I wanted to save money yesterday, but if I don't get something to eat, I'll starve before I even get there. What's open at this time? Maybe I could find a nice morsel. Hmm? Something's behind me. Behind my right shoulder. Nothing? I'm not the kind of adventurer who could sense danger or anything, but I swear I felt eyes of a killer on my back. Something saw me? Were they sizing me up? Whoever this is, they're not normal, and they aren't holding anything back. There's someone on the cafe terrace setting up tables, two animal people standing on a corner over there, and a woman looking down from the roof of that shop. My eyes are jumping back and forth to all the people I can find. Maybe I missed someone over my other shoulder. Everything looks normal for early morning on Main Street. There isn't even a suspicious shadow around. Then again, I probably look pretty suspicious, standing in the center of the road with my head on a swivel. As soon as I look at anyone, though, they get right back to work. Am I going crazy? Is this a black hole in my gut playing tricks on me? My heart is pounding in my ears. I know there's definitely something around here. Excuse me. Huh! I spin around and raise my fist to defend against the source of the voice. Onlookers probably think I'm overreacting. A girl, a human like me, is standing there. She wears a white blouse with light green knee-length skirt. On top of that is a salon apron. Her simple blue-gray hair is tied up in a tight bun on the back of her head, but a ponytail sticks out from the center of it. Her eyes, the same color as her hair, look innocent and rather cute. She's so scared that her smooth, milky skin is all bunched up around her eyes. Oh yeah, my fist is a few inches from her jaw. She's no threat. The hell is wrong with me today? Sorry, I was just a little surprised. No, I'm sorry for startling you. Now she's apologizing just as furiously as I am. She didn't do anything. She looks older than me, but just a year or two tops. Was this the girl I saw on the cafe terrace? She was carrying a table all by herself. Can I help you? Oh, yes. Here, you dropped this. A bluish purple crystal sits in her outstretched palm. A magic stone? Huh? I crane my neck around to look at the pouch strapped on my lower back. I use this fist-sized pouch to hold all the magic stones I collect from monsters in the dungeon. A drawstring usually keeps it wrapped up pretty tight. Is it loose? I thought I exchanged all of the stones I collected yesterday at headquarters. Did I miss one? Only adventurers would have magic stones in the first place, so maybe she's right. Thank you for going out of your way. Oh no, don't mention it. I return the smile that blooms on her face. My eyebrows drop a bit in shame. I have no idea what to say, so I just chuckle along with her. My shoulders finally relax, and she good-naturedly hands me the stone. Are you already heading to the dungeon at this hour? Yep, I thought I'd get to work a bit early today. She asked that question to break the awkward silence. I didn't know what to say myself, so I'm glad she spoke up. I'll try to say goodbye after a little small talk. Or so I thought. My stomach speaks up before I can make a clean getaway. Her eyes go wide, my face goes red. I hear her laugh a little. My face feels hot enough to cook an egg. Nah, it would burn. Are you hungry? Yeah. So you didn't have any breakfast this morning? This is so awkward. I can't look in her eyes, just drop my head and nod. I see a little light flicker on in her eyes. She suddenly turns and runs quickly into the cafe, her boots clomping on Main Street pavement. She disappears into a side door and returns almost as quickly as she left. She has a charming little basket clutched in her arms. Bread and cheese are sticking out from the brim. If this is okay, I mean, the cafe isn't open yet, so all I can offer is my morning rations. Uh, no, 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 that's your breakfast. I can't accept it. She looks a little bit shy and bites her lip. Whoa, she's one of those inner beauty types. When I see Miss Wallenstein or the goddess, I get butterflies. Not so much with this girl, but the more I talk to her, the cuter she looks. The goddess would call her a good girl next door type of girl. I can't leave you hungry like this. It would make me sad as a person to do that. So please, Mr. Adventurer, accept it. For me? How can I say no to that? How can I possibly refuse something offered up like that? I don't have the guts to say no, to not smile. She closes her eyes for a moment while I search for my next words. When she opens them, a mischievous smile creeps over her face. She leans forward until her face is just a few inches from mine, a little too close. Mr. Adventurer, I'm making the sacrifice for you. So, in exchange for the bread and cheese this morning, in exchange, you have to eat dinner tonight at the bar I work at. Hmm? It was my eyes turned to get wide. I slowly chew over her words. This girl has completely destroyed the ice. This is the first time we've met, and she's laughing like we're old buddies. You don't play fair, do you? Here you are. Don't worry about it because I'm sure you're going to make a lot of money today. Basically, spend a lot of money tonight. Great. What's with her? Isn't that a lot of pressure to put on someone you just met? Well then, I'll be seeing you tonight. Yes, I'll be waiting. She laughs for me as I leave. Sure, I feel a little manipulated, but I also feel good. Kind of like we just had tea together or something. Why am I suddenly so shy? I hold the basket in one hand as she sees me off. I look down Main Street, toward the tower at the center of the city. Lines of tall buildings pierce the morning sky, but the center tower looms over them all. The dungeon is waiting below. Something very important pops into my head as I take my first step, so I turn back to her. She looks a bit confused. I take a deep breath. I'm Belle Crannel. What's your name? A heavy second passes as I squint my eyes waiting for her response. They pop open when she smiles at me. I'm Sir Fleur. We exchange names, laughs, and waves before I set out. I hope you've enjoyed this time with me. I'm the Midnight Reader, and the story isn't over yet. So come back and enjoy the tones.